What's up guys, I'm Skillionaire, I'm back. A lot of people liked my Did You Know videos from previously, so I figured I'll just keep going, right? If that's what people want to see, then it works for me. Let's start with English. That's the first one I tried, the first one I played. It's a hard one to talk to you about because with English, you know, you probably all already played them. You probably all already played them at some point. The first thing I'll just try and point out straight away, which maybe I'll surprise someone, especially the newer players, is that they produce man-at-arms 50% faster. So they are going to be putting out man-at-arms at the exact same time it costs to make a spearman, whereas other civs, you know, man-at-arms takes longer time to produce, so they, you know, spearmen are faster. English, exactly the same number. I think it's 15 seconds or something. That's one thing. Maybe you don't know that. That's cool. But let's talk about something a little bit more complicated, and that's the farms, right? So you know that gather rate in this game. Just a quick recap for anyone who's maybe haven't watched some previous vids that I made is berries are the slowest, okay, and then it's farms and sheep are about the same. And then after that, you have deer. And then after that, you have boar. And then after that, you have shoreline fish. So that's the fish that the villagers can reach. The fish that the villagers... the fish that the villagers can reach is 1 second, 1 per second. So every 1 second, you're collecting one food. So, you know, that's pretty good. Whereas berries are like 0.6. So considerably slower. Of course, this is different for different civs, right? Different civs have special bonuses. So, you know, we will talk about Abbasid when we get there and stuff like that. But with English, their bonus comes from the fact that their farms have a higher gather rate. You can see on that second bullet point there, everyone who knows English knows this already, I know, but just bear with me. 15%, 20%, 25%, and 30%, depending on which age you're in. What I want to tell you about, and what I want to talk to you about is, did you know what that really means? So, 15% takes the gather rate of farms up to nearly the gather rate of deers in Dark Age. That's collecting on deer in the Dark Age with a farm. Just quite substantial if you think about how important the Pro Scouts meta is in this game right now. And the fact that, like, English have that with their farms is pretty cool. You'd think that makes them stronger, but it doesn't in the Pro Scout meta, because think about it like this. If that's what makes them special, if every civ can do it with Pro Scouts, then what's left making them special? That's why they're quite weak at the moment. I know some people might disagree, but they, you know, I think a lot of the top players agree, right? So 20% and then 25%, so it then gets better than collecting on deer. And then 30% is almost exactly the same as fish. I think I did some math on the calculator. I think it's like 0.95 per second as opposed to 1 per second. So basically the same thing, right? So just to really give you that vibe. And one more thing also to note is that, you know, if sheep and farms are the same for a regular civ, that means that English actually collects food faster off their farms than they do off their sheep. Which is why, like, English do have some builds where you just, as soon as you start, you put down a couple farms. I'm not saying this is like a good build or whatever. Like, I'm not talking about strategy here. I'm just saying, you know, did you know? That's all I'm saying. And I'll finish on one more thing that I find that maybe some players genuinely forget from time to time. So, you know, you got your council hall, right? Everyone knows that the council hall makes longbows twice as fast as the barracks. That's how they can rush you with that stuff. Well, did you know, here is, that the council hall not only allows you to produce units twice as fast, but also the research. And so arrow volley and, you know, the upgrade your archers to the next tier, you know, these things are twice as fast. And that matters because if you've kind of got loads of things queued in the council hall, and then you might accidentally start researching... Sorry, am I blind today? Where's the stables? Sorry, not stables. Where's the archery rangers? There it is. And then you might start researching, you know, these things. Does it say here? Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, it doesn't actually. Okay, it's 30 seconds. Trust me. When you're in game, it's 30 seconds because the council hall bonus is twice as fast. So that's kind of a big deal, right? If you accidentally start researching it from a regular shooting range instead of your council hall, 30 seconds in an RTS game is quite a lot, and that's a lot of time to just get wiped and lose your army. And as English, if you get wiped, you're in for a bad time. It's tough to try and get that army back. Yeah, blacksmith. For French, automatically gets the first melee damage upgrade. And if you knew this, hold on, bear with me. It automatically gets the melee damage upgrade. And that's kind of a big deal because the blacksmith costs 150 wood. So if you're getting a free research, which is worth 175 resources, 50 food, 125 gold, what you've effectively done by building the blacksmith is you've actually just gained 25 resources. Does that make sense? Like if you take 175 minus 150, you're left over with 25. So what I'm saying is it's kind of like just getting 25 resources for free by building the blacksmith. So, you know, just fun little bit of math there, which makes a difference. And then, of course, that's just the first one. When you go to Castle Age, you get this one for free as well. And then when you go to Imperial, you get this one for free. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, don't forget your blacksmith, because especially because as French, you want to be running around as knights and smashing people, right? So it makes sense to have this upgrade, and you know, you get it instantly. But you could argue the time is worth more than the fact that you get it for free. Like 1 minute, as I said earlier, you know, time in the RTS game is quite significant. So that 1 minute becomes 0 seconds. It's pretty cool. The other thing I want to tell you about French is the Red Palace. So you probably know when you build the Red Palace, it shoots crossbows, and it's just an awesome keep, right? Where is it? Where is it? What's wrong with me today? There we go, Red Palace. I keep expecting them to be a different color. That's why I keep missing it. Because they're landmarks, but you know. The Red Palace, okay, it fires crossbows, but it doesn't just do that. When you finish building it, your town center and your other keeps also shoot crossbows. Now, they don't do it like the Red Palace, where if you garrison it with anything, they all shoot crossbows. It's not like that. At least I don't think so. Anyway, I'm pretty sure they still shoot their normal arrows, but on top of the normal arrows, they get free crossbow shots. So going for Red Palace as French just kind of makes you like harder to, you know, to raid and stuff. It makes it easier for you to defend. Does it actually say it on the thing? It probably does, right? There we go. Activates an arbalest emplacement on all keeps and town centers. Yes, it does actually say it. Of course it would say it. But, you know, there's so much information in this game. It's hard to, like... Even if you knew it, you probably forgot it. So, yeah, that's my Did You Knows for French. Let me know if you know any others that I missed. You can put them in the comments. Of course, there's a million things I could say, but I'm just going for the ones that I think most likely you wouldn't have thought of, or maybe you would have forgotten. So that's all I got for French. The next one I want to talk about is the next civ I played after that was Order of the Dragon. And Order of the Dragon, of course, are a very cool civ. And this is, I want to talk about the Archon Chapel for a sec. Quick, you know, editor's notes or disclaimer or whatever the hell. My opinion here, okay? Opinion. You don't have to agree with me if you don't want to. I think it's kind of bad choice that they make landmarks in this game do different things for variant civs. Because I'm about to give you a Did You Know about a landmark, because it's different from HRE and another landmark as well after this. And I just kind of feel like, you know, the game is kind of confusing sometimes, and I like complexity, don't get me wrong. But if you have a building that has exactly the same name across two civs, you kind of expect them to do the same thing, you know? It's just something to, yeah, whatever. It's just my opinion. Look, anyway, did you know the Archon Chapel has a larger radius than the HRE Archon Chapel? So we'll do both at the same time here, okay? The HRE Archon Chapel can fit 2 farms around it. The Order of the Dragon can fit 3 farms around it and still be within the radius. That's a fun little thing there. The other thing about their landmark, before I went on that little mini rant there, is I wanted to talk to you about Burgave. Is it Burgave? Where is it? Okay, Burgave Palace. So, let's just read it for a sec. Acts as a barracks that produces units 35% faster and 35% cheaper, and researches technologies 35% faster. If you're a HRE player, you're used to it saying it's 400% faster. Now that's a lot, right? 400%, that is huge. But notice it was just, HRE is just about speed. It's not about cost. So if you build Burgave for Order of the Dragon, you're actually, look, here we go, produces 400% faster. It says nothing about cost. Only Order of the Dragon gets cheaper things. And that's a big deal, of course, because Order of the Dragon are expensive units. We know that. That's like their civ's weakness. So it's a pretty awesome landmark like that. Of course, 35% faster is not as good as 400% faster, but that's okay. You know, it's all good. It's like a trade-off. Just something to be aware of, because like I said earlier, they have the same name, but they actually do work differently. One of the things that is the same for both of them is this Regnitz Cathedral thing. I just wanted to let you know that I find that maybe some players, they think that you got to put the relic in the cathedral to get the extra 100% gold. And MSN says this as well. He says people he encounter think this too. But the reality is, it doesn't say anything about having to put it in the cathedral. Anywhere you put it, if you put it in the outpost, if you put it in the dock, you know, which gives you 30, 35, 15%? 15% bonus attack speed on your boats, by the way, in case you didn't know that. If you put a relic in your port, or your dock, whatever, yeah, it also generates an extra 100% gold. So it doesn't matter where you put it, in the keep or whatever. So yeah, it's a cool little thing to bear in mind. that's what I got for HRE and Order of the Dragon, I think. Is there anything else I want to say here? Oh, maybe you forgot this, but HRE's infantry move, is it 50% faster? Where does it say it? Oh, 5%. Yeah, obviously not 50, that would be crazy. Sorry. So yeah, they move 5% faster in Dark Age and 10% faster in Feudal, which, you know, is kind of a big deal, right? That means they can outpace your units. You know, it's good stuff. Maybe you already knew that, but I just thought it's an easy one to forget. Look at all these bullet points. That's the passives are so easy to forget. And then I suppose if I want to throw one thing in there, just because MSN says that maybe some people aren't familiar with this, which is that, you know, mine work. I mean, I guess I've talked about the landmarks a lot, but the research you get in Minework Palace in HRE and Order of the Dragon are different. I knew this just because I got used to them both quite early as my preferred landmark. But maybe other players wouldn't know this, and it's fair enough. So you get access to the Golden Cuirass as Order of the Dragon, which is awesome. Look at that. When you fall below 30% health, you take 20% less damage. That is huge. That's only something Order of the Dragon has, right? And then you've got this Zornhau thing for the Landsknecht, and they've got the Bodkin bolts for their crossbows. Let's just compare that to HRE, because I honestly don't even remember what HRE one has. I'm not a huge fan of the Civ personally. I think it's alright. It's just not my style. Yeah, they get the pikes and they get the cavalry upgrade. Yeah, so it's different. It's different. It's just something to bear in mind. Okay, I think I'm done with these two now. So that's 4 civs. I played Abbasid after that, and let's talk about what I got for Abbasid here. So this is something from MSN was saying. It's not technically a did you know, but it's like did you underrate? And that's the Golden Age. Okay, look, just the Golden Age mechanics of Abbasid are often underrated. Look, tier 1 gives you villager gather rate 15%. So did you know that that 15% is basically all the eco upgrades at the same time? It's all the eco upgrades for free. So just don't sleep on that. You know, some people are just like, me included, I just build my buildings when I build them. When I need a house, I put down a house. And eventually I reach tier 1 Golden Age and I'm like, yay, kind of thing. You should try and get that fast. Now, obviously, it depends on your build and stuff. Maybe you don't think it's worth it, whatever. But I think that if you can get that tier 1 Golden Age, I think you should go for it. Like, as fast as possible, you know. Put 2 lumber camps next to each other. Who cares? You know, it's fine. You're going to use them eventually anyway. Just put them both down. Get that tier 1 Golden Age. Get that 15% increase across everything. Food, wood, gold, stone. It's awesome. It's amazing. So yeah, thanks MSN for all your help making this video, by the way, but also that tip, because that actually resonated with me. That made me go, wait a minute, I've been sleeping on this, you know, so that's good to know. What else have I got? Oh, so you might you might have missed this one, because I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it, but just in case you're unaware, is the mosque. So the Imam actually can convert single target units. You know, in this game, like the Wololo thing has that aura around it, and then he converts all the units in one go. The Imam actually has a way to actually, like, it's like a research. It's this one here, I think. Yeah, Imams can convert units without holding a relic, but can only target a single unit. Maybe useful against HRE. I don't know. I've never, sorry, Order of the Dragon. I've never actually done it, but it can happen. So it's just bear that in mind. And that, oh yeah, and something that I always forget with these guys is that their docks are actually cheaper, 50%. And that matters a fair amount, because at the beginning of the game, you know, when you have the water map, you're like, should I go for the fish? Should I not go for the fish? Just remember, if you're playing the Civ, 50% fast, 50% cheaper is quite a lot. 75 wood instead of 150. And we know at the start of the game, you know, it's like the order like the place you put your villagers is super important. Of course, it's important throughout the whole game, but at the beginning especially so, right? How many are on sheep? How many are on gold? How many are on wood? And in the case of Abbasid, you don't need as many. So it's just something to bear in mind. That feel free, you know, consider going for the fish. Like, be a bit brave, because it's only 75 food. Maybe earlier than you otherwise normally would have. Okay. I don't have anything about Ayyubid. I didn't play them for too long. The stuff I said about Abbasid are also true for Ayyubid, right? So the dockyards are also 50% cheaper. The tier 1 is only 10%, not 15%, but it's still worth going for. 10% is still quite a bit. Yeah, I played Ayyubids a little bit. I thought they were fun. I thought they were cool, but honestly, I didn't play them that much. Maybe I didn't learn things that were too different from Abbasid personally. So I'm going to move past that one. I'm going to move to Rus. One of my more recent ones. I think the most interesting thing I found out about Rus is that actually there is a cap on the amount of gold that you can get from hunting cabins. Maybe this wouldn't matter in a lot of games, but like if you ever just try and just spam a bunch of hunting cabins on wood and hope that you get infinite gold, you actually can't. I think the cap is either 500 golds or 600 gold. Sorry, I don't remember which one, but I guess it doesn't really matter, does it, for the sake of this? I just thought I'd let you know, fun fact. Eventually, you'll keep putting your hunting cabins down, and what happens is you go to put it down, and it just says 0 gold per minute. Just 0 gold. It doesn't matter where you put it, it just always says 0. At first, I thought it was a hunting cabin limit. I thought maybe you can't have more than a certain amount, but it's not. It's the gold. So, yeah, just thought that was interesting. Ottomans, I've got a little more for you here. One of my most recent learned and played one. It's actually pretty fun, these guys, you know, more fun than I thought they were going to be. If you haven't tried them, they're actually pretty enjoyable. So, I want to talk to you about the Seagate landmark. Firstly, is that maybe you wouldn't know this, but they actually increase the speed of traders going past. So if you kind of, and not just for the Seagate castle, but for all your keeps. So you can effectively use your keeps as a way to speed up your traders, which means you get more gold overall, right? So it's just a cool thing to consider in the late game. Maybe a veteran Ottoman players, you already know this. I don't know. I'm relatively new to them. I just thought that was interesting because I just thought it was a free keep. You know, like a lot of civs have like a keep that does stuff. But yeah, you know, it says there 30% extra speed and also extra armor, which is pretty cool, right? Like it makes it harder for people to harass your trade routes. The other thing I want to say is the Vizier points. This is probably my best one. So if you're still here watching this video, thank you. I really appreciate it. You know, you haven't disliked and left already. I had a lot of dislikes on the last one, probably because people felt like they already knew everything. But also, I got way more positive feedback than I normally get. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. It really helps a lot when you comment. If you like the video, it's huge for me. And of course, if you want to see more, sub. But enough of that shill. So let's self-plug stuff. My best one for Ottomans is about Vizier points. So, did you know that the Vizier points... And you know, the funny thing is, I don't actually think it says it here, but I've seen it in game. It says it when you hover over the points. But the Vizier points, you actually get more. You level it up faster, depending on how expensive the thing you made was. So if you make like 10 spearmen versus 10 man-at-arms or whatever, the Vizier point bar goes up higher with the man-at-arms because they're more expensive, right? Wait, they are more expensive, right? Is that a bad example? Let me just double check that right now. So 60 food, 20 wood, yeah, 100 food and 20 wood. So it's like the total resources is like the points that goes towards the Vizier points. So if you want to get those points out really fast, you got to be making expensive stuff. Yeah, just interesting thing to bear in mind there about Ottomans, I thought. And one thing that surprised me towards the end of my Ottoman journey when I was about to move on to Japanese, which is what I'm playing now. It took me so long to learn this, but did you know that the Janissaries can actually repair the siege vehicles? They don't repair as efficient as villagers. It's only 50%. It doesn't have to be Great Bombard. It can be the Trebuchet, you know, anything really. The Mangonel. I just thought it was a fun little thing. I'm not sure if people like do that competitively or anything. I don't know about that stuff, but I just thought it's a good thing to know. I'm gonna end the video there, but I'm gonna throw you a bonus one, okay? For those of you who've hung around here, the loyal ones, I'm going to give you a good one in case you don't already know it. Speaking of repairing, you know in this game, when you repair buildings, it costs wood, right? You probably know this. If you repair keeps, it costs stone. Probably know that too. But did you know that landmarks also cost wood, regardless of whether they're keeps, okay? So for example, this great Seagate thing for Ottomans here, the Red Palace, for French, Burgave, no, sorry, not Burgave, what am I saying? Berkshire for English. These actually cost wood to repair, which is quite significant because you're more likely to have wood than stone. It's a cool fun little fact, something to be aware of. I'll save for the loyalists who made it all the way to the end of the video. If you did make it all the way to the end of the video, love you very much. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey. I super appreciate it. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.